All right, y'all, let's get into it, man. What's the business, man? Big Mike, the Almighty One Triple XL, coming at y'all live and direct from PKC, baby, Philosopher King Central, where we attempt to go down the rabbit hole and think outside the box. Yeah, speak on things that most folks ain't really dealing with. Because let's just face it, man, we are dealing with a modern day idiocracy. Foolishness and nonsense is the order of the day. So therefore, I don't really expect this channel to do big numbers. Why? Because foolish and nonsense is the order of the day. And even when I was doing my thing as a quote-unquote pornographer, doing raunchy, illicit things, I always sought to balance that out, man, with some stimulating thought. Yeah, I really did. I know it was just perplexing everybody. Like, how do I have this smut on the internet and then I immediately switch gears and start talking about Nietzsche or pontificating on the works of Aleister Crowley or start dropping science on Dr. Francis Cress Welsing? Never made sense to most folks, but you know, I am a metaphysician and I do seek balance, man. So today I'm going to talk about something that kind of irritates me, man, that people don't seem to understand and get these days. And hence the reason why you have so many people that hate Trump in the government, because what you're dealing with right about now is something what we would like to call the divine right of kings. You're dealing with two separate societies. You're dealing with the common man, the proletariat, the beast man, and then you're dealing with the aristocracy, those who consider themselves gods, to be above the fray, above the savage, above the goyim. Therefore, you have two separate societies and you have two separate laws that govern each society. And what Trump was doing, he was endangering the fact that there would be no more divine right of kings. You wouldn't get special privileges for your bloodline. You wouldn't get special privileges for so-called crony capitalism. He was in danger of ruining that for a lot of people, man. For a lot of people that was up there in the upper echelons of government. He was in danger of exposing pedophilia, prostitution rings, taking money under the table from drug cartels and certain foreign interests overseas. Now, don't get me wrong. I know Trump ain't no angel. And I know that he's partaking in some illicit things as well in the past because he's a businessman. But we're dealing with varying degrees of debauchery here, man. Varying degrees. So yes, that's what we have right here. The divine right of kings. How many times are we going to turn on the TV and we're going to see that certain individuals get in trouble? They get caught with their hand in a cookie jar, but nothing ever happens to them. Absolutely nothing. And we just sit around and we just watch football all day. Bread and circuses. So yes, they don't hate Trump because he's an asshole. I'm sorry to keep talking about Trump, man, but yeah, he is a key figure. He is the key linchpin that holds this all together or destroys it all. Because he slipped through the cracks. He slipped through the cracks and they just, man, they lost their minds, man. It was like, oh no, no. He threatens everything that we've been working for, and that means the globalist. You have a globalist cabal out there that wishes to control you. They're trying to keep their thumb on your neck, baby. And Trump with his nationalistic attitude, his nationalistic ideas. No, he's bad for business for a globalist because he's a nationalist. I don't know how many times I gotta keep telling y'all this. And a lot of y'all, you know, you're still perplexed about, you know, why you still on that, Big Mike, man? Because I'm trying to make y'all understand what this is all about, man. Trying to stop y'all from running face first into the wood chipper, bro. Trying to get you to see, to have that third eye vision, man. These people don't hate Trump because of mean tweets, man. He was actually giving the hoes some money. What do I always say, man? What do I always say to the Mac City crew? You always keep your hoes broke. And he was doing the exact opposite. The oligarchs, the aristocracy, they know that if they keep you poor and they keep you struggling, you don't have time to actually look at who's causing all of these problems. You're too busy trying to figure out how you're going to pay your bills, how you're going to put gas in your car, how you're going to feed yourself, Trump was on the verge of giving y'all a little bit too much leisure time, a little bit too much time to pontificate and think, to figure out what was really going on, Jack. And this is coming from a man, I never got into politics before Trump got in office, man, because I just threw my hands up. I was just like, man, it's over with. It's a done data. The Republican and Democrat wings of government, they're working towards the same end, for power and control and to subjugate the masses, man. But Trump was the first dude I actually seen. There was a glimmer of hope. There was a glimmer of hope, man. And right about now, I honestly don't think there's any hope for the future, man. I think that the dumbing down process has been so thorough. I mean, you really have people out here who just really cannot think their way out of a wet paper bag, man. They lack the necessary skills to actually understand the concepts of the art of war, man. Got too many folks out here, especially black folks, that are what we would like to call emotional. I mean, all I have to do is just say a name and, y'all lose y'all shit, man. If I say Trump, you automatically shut down. Oh, here he go. Oh, I'm like, God damn, man. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you, man. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you, man. Stop thinking like a broad, like a female, all right? Grab your sack. And let's get masculine for a minute, man. Let's see this from a art of war perspective, point of view. But bottom line, he is quite possibly a rogue element in the government as far as not playing their game. Like I say, possibly, I don't know, man. He could be wagging the dog, man. He could be controlled opposition in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Because there's been some things that he's done that I don't like, man. He's been, pushing that vaccine the way he did. I look at him with the side eye on that. Anybody with a lick of sense, with a lick of investigatory skills, man, can actually see that vaccine is BS, man. All them boosters and whatnot, people are dropping dead like flies. I'm like, But he's sticking by it, man. He's like, no, the boosters are a good thing. Go get your shot. I'm like, oh, I don't know about that, Jack. Trump, I'm looking at you with the side eye on that, man. And then when we had that election, man, there was just so much wild conspiracies coming out about that, about these certain reports, how, Trump, he was actually playing 10D chess and he was doing this and doing that. And, I'm thinking to myself, wow, a lot of it sounded really good. A lot of it sounded cool, man. But he never actually got on the air on YouTube or any podcast or anything and, told folks, hey, man, don't listen to all of this nonsense out here, man. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm trying to do a good job, but all of this 10D chess, people are talking about certain things that people claim I'm going to do. He could have put a bug in our ear and was like, man, don't fall for that, man, But he just, I guess he was happy just letting that flow. I look at him with the side eye on that. I was like, man, you could have warned folks, man, that wasn't none of that true. I mean, there was crazy stuff coming out like Mike Pence is actually a clone. Or, he was talking about there was a whole bunch of people in government who have actually been arrested already and they met their fate via the guillotine or a firing squad, but they have clones out there so that the American public doesn't actually know what's going on with the aristocracy. Because if they actually knew what was going on with the aristocracy, that would mean total rebellion. The common man would probably want to scream a little bit more bloody murder and go after more folks in government that's been doing a lot of shady and shiesty things. Cats is like, man, what's up with Mitch McConnell? Why is Mitch McConnell not even busting the grape, man, when it comes to Trump, man? I mean, ain't he a Republican? Don't he want Donald Trump, to win? No, he don't want Trump to win, man, because like I said, Trump was really vividly trying to drain the swamp. Now, what he was going to replace that swamp with, because a lot of people say, well, the people that he was introducing in the government was no better than the folks that was already there. But, Mitch was in danger of losing his position messing with Trump, man. Not to mention, there's been rumors flying around that Mitch McConnell himself has been guilty of stealing elections via those crooked voting machines, man. Whether y'all know it or not, for the past 25 years, man, those voting machines have been instrumental in stealing elections. And this is something that the elites are hiding from you. They don't want you to know these things. If you got enough money, you could pay someone to sway an election with those voting machines, man. So if you're sitting there, keep wondering why, there's a lot of key figures up in government who are Republicans that seem to want to be persona non grata, to have their hands totally washed free of dealing with Trump. It's because, they're crooked too. They're crooked, and they know that if Trump is in office, there's a good possibility that if you start sniffing around and investigating and doing things the way that they're supposed to be done, they can get the axe, man. See, that's the problem. When you're dealing with people in government, once you go ahead and you go after one individual, it's like a trail of breadcrumbs, man. It's going to lead you down the primrose path, man, the yellow brick road to other crooks and other scams and other scandals. And the main crimes and the main scandals that's being perpetuated are being perpetuated against the common man, the commoner. So yes, you have a lot of people who are in government who deem themselves to be gods and want to lord over you. They do not respect you. They do not think that you're even human. For failure that, you just don't use your reasoning faculties. You're just easily swayed into believing any and everything. But yet don't look for any sort of righteousness or justice to be disseminated against those who have been holding you down for the longest, man. Remember, it is against the government's best interests to have peace and prosperity, especially Democrats. The Democrats and Republicans actually take turns wrecking shop, and then for the next 4 years or the next 8 years, they kind of low-key patch things up just a little bit to give you a little bit of hope. And then they start dismantling things on a massive scale again. Each party takes its turn, man. The Democrats do a lot of damage, man. The main thing that they do, they are the masters of build and destroy, or more so destroy. They create a need for their leadership by purposely creating a number of crises that you'll have to look to them to patch up. All the while, unbeknownst to you, that they are the architects of the crisis. But these days, it's quite obvious who's the architects of the crisis. Well, there's no doubt it's the Democratic Party. But we still got people voting Democrat, i.e. mostly women, and around my neck of the woods, black women. Because I love those handouts, man. They love them free goodies, them free handouts. But I'll probably expand on this a little bit later, man. That's what I'm going to do. I'm torn between. I'm probably going to do both. I'm going to do Rumble and YouTube, man. So right now I'm going to keep these joints 15 minutes or less, just because that's the way it is on YouTube, since this is a new channel. Once again, I hope you players are tuning in. If you want to hear anything of a playlistic nature, that will be in my Max City Limits Patreon. We will not be discussing any of the low vibration stuff. Been doing that for years, man. While it has been low-key lucrative, man, we are in a situation right now where I must expand on my thought material, man. Brothers and sisters out there actually need it, even though I fully understand that most folks will not understand it and they will not digest this. I'm the type of individual, when I speak things, they don't make sense to you until 5-10 years down the road. Because why? Because I studied. I'm a prolific researcher, man. And that's what I do when it comes to things of this nature, when it comes to philosophy, metaphysics, sociology, social engineering. So yeah, once again, thank y'all for tuning in. Hate to toot my own horn, but sometimes, man, when you're in a situation where nobody really understands you, nobody really digs what you're saying, man, you got to bust your own arm to pat yourself on the back every now and then, man. You got to be your own best cheerleader. Understand me? All right, y'all. Big Mike, the almighty one himself, Triple XL, coming at you live. Philosopher King Central, and we out.